Okay, well, our sister abandoned us today without telling us that she wasn't going to be here because she's in New York right now.
She actually did.
I knew that she wasn't going to be
Didn't know
here.
the date.
She escaped.
So I'm Kennedy.
Kennedy right
we
now.
have the actual Kennedy here today.
My name is Kennedy Jesse
Kennedy.
Walsh.
Kennedy Jesse Walsh.
Whatever
Jesse
you want to call
Claire.
me.
Kennedy Claire. Jesse James.
Jessica, Claire,
All right. No one
West
cares.
Walsh.
Oh, no one cares. So Kennedy's in New York. Did you know in New York they have rats that are the size of dogs?
What?
I've never
And they'll
seen
carry
any.
you away.
I've seen a big one, but not the size
I wonder
of
what would
dogs.
happen if you put... So Baltimore also has
I was
huge
just
rats.
going to say
what if you put
Baltimore
a
also
Baltimore
has
rat up against a New York rat? Who would
I think
win?
the New York rat's gonna crush it.
You think the New York rat
All
would take it
that
down?
goes in my head
That
right
would
now
be
is
a
Mario,
good
Mario,
fight.
Mario. They make good characters.
Yeah, she plays Mario Party every
Dakota and
single
I
night
are
now.
so
Heard.
hooked on it. Oh my god, I'm getting so
We
much
played
better at
Switch,
the
right?
games and the
Ever
joystick.
since we played that night at my house, she's addicted to
we
it.
played
should have just
one
gave
night.
her our system.
One night.
No.
Wait, you don't play it?
We like
We
having it.
played like twice when we first got it.
Oh,
Well, no, the problem
no, you have to
is-
let
And
us
that's
bring
it.
the Super Mario over.
Oh, that's a different.
It's
That's
so
a
much
better
quicker,
game.
and you have so many more
Yeah,
items.
ours
and
is
stuff.
too. Like I hate
And you
waiting.
get so many more coins so
They
quick
also,
and stars.
My mom waits for like the characters to go that are like computerized, and she beats them up and steals their stars.
Well, Dakota does that. She really loves beating them.
Yeah, Mom. All those times you've been bullied in the past, and now you're taking it out on Mario characters.
Exactly.
On AI
we
Mario
stole all
characters.
their stars last night. We were like,
it's
yeah.
the things you get into when you're an adult and like no longer enjoy the things maybe you used to enjoy. Like Jesse and I's thing is every Tuesday night we watch The Bachelor. And
Oh
eat.
yeah, me too. You got me into that.
We have The Bachelor and sushi and then crumble cookie for
Hell
dessert.
yeah.
Oh no, crumble cookies.
Dude,
So
it's good.
hard to
That's
eat,
a
though.
good combo.
Yeah.
It is.
It's killer.
except
We
one
eat our
bite of
sushi
crumble.
and then I want crumble so bad, so I always end up ordering it and we try whatever the cookie of the
you
week
end
is.
up eating. You eat crumble.
Yeah, on Tuesdays
It's
I
so
give
high-
in.
Yeah,
Oh
we
my God,
destroy
there's so many
them.
calories.
We
It's horrible
eat
for
what we
you.
can eat of it, and then we just get rid of it because we're like, we're not going to save it and keep eating them.
Yeah,
I do
throw away
sushi
so
and then
much.
those almond bars that Kate makes.
Oh,
Like
they're-
my girlfriend's
they're
like
so-
the
oh
best
my God,
baker.
they're so good.
I'm lucky, but I also like try to avoid sugar, which is never ends up happening because she'll just like make good ass desserts.
You always say
And
you're
it's
gonna
better than
avoid
crumble
sugar.
cookie. It's like
But
better
at
than
least
anything
it's
else.
Says that
natural.
his thing
Well, I
is
think
every week.
Oh, you
crumble's
don't-
natural.
Okay, so
Every time I see
don't
Brandon,
drink
he's always
caffeine
eating sugar.
anymore.
no, I don't eat that much sugar, but whenever I'm around Jesse, it's always like an event or something. So he sees me eating sugar, so he's probably like, this
You just
fucking
admitted that
liar.
you eat sugar, even though you say you don't
No,
eat
just
sugar.
love
I
sugar,
do,
guys.
I do sometimes
Because he can't
okay?
tell his girlfriend no.
I
There's
am,
nothing wrong with sugar.
Well, I love sugar.
Technically,
And I love
there's probably a
desserts.
lot wrong with sugar.
There's
Okay,
probably a
but
lot wrong.
I eat
love
sugar.
sugar.
We
though.
eat sugar a
With
lot.
balance, but I
No,
do.
That's why she has so many calories.
Claudia really does. Every
Claudia
night,
eats sugar
every
every
night I
day.
see an Instagram post
Wait,
about
wait,
a
wait.
snack plate that
How
you
many
make for
calories
her.
did you just get filled?
I think it was a total of 7.
7 cavities.
But
cavities.
the
Sugar
thing
she
is, no.
eats.
Damn.
That's not why. One, I
What are you
think
chewing on?
it's because I have
I get
Invisalign.
none.
Oh yeah, that's right. Invisalign.
You-
all
So,
freaking causes
my
it.
teeth
Jess, you have like
don't
no
get-
problems.
My teeth. Yeah,
You have
he-
no health problems.
Yes, he does. He's blind.
We got a blood
blind.
test
Got
done.
his
We got a
eyes.
blood test done. They're like, yeah, you're flawless. And they look at me
No,
and like,
his-
you might die in a few years.
The
No.
only thing I have is my eyesight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
he
bad.
has to get eye surgery soon.
Yeah.
yeah, you can get that fixed with eye surgery though.
Well, it's
And
not
you'll
gonna
be-
get fixed. It's just gonna
You'll be like
it's just,
Superman. You'll be able to see like
No,
4
no,
miles in the
no, it's
distance.
more
It's
than
just
that.
freezing it,
Really?
basically.
It's just stopping it from getting worse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
hardening
You can't
it.
reverse it.
No.
No.
Unless I go to like do something that's like not been done for a long time.
If they
which I don't wanna do.
invented something where you could get like a bionic eye,
and I'd
like
see
they
better.
popped your eye out, they would pop your
Ew.
eye out and put a bionic eye in, but
I
you
can
could
see
see
better.
super far. Yeah, would you do it?
I probably would. My right eye is so bad.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Like when I'm
probably
like this,
can do
like
that
the
now.
details in your face are gone.
Really?
Like, you kind of have like 3 eyes. Like your eye, you have an eye and then an eye below your eye. It's horrible.
Damn.
Can you imagine?
So you know what
Terminator.
Claudia looks like.
No,
Yeah.
like when I don't wear my contacts and I put them on, I'm like, holy shit, is this what life is?
Yeah.
Like I'll look in the mirror and I'm like,
It's like
my
4K.
pores are horrible. I'm like,
Wait,
what
is it
happened?
called something?
I have keratoconus disease.
Wow.
So I got LASIK, which is the laser, the surgery that you were thinking like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm gonna get. Like it fixes it. And then so I had good eyesight for like a year, and then it slowly got worse. And then by like 21, right around when I met you guys, I got a surgery to stop it because my cornea bulges, as weird as that sounds. So it's shaped like a cone. And because of the weird shaping, and it's like your cornea is soft, it kept getting like shaped more and more like a cone, which then makes you see worse and worse.
Eventually,
and worse.
they'd be poking out like fingers.
No, like if
sticking
you
out.
look at my eye,
so your
it's
eye is
shaped
slowly
weird.
going into a cone.
That's why they're so
Yeah.
bulgy.
So and there's no way to fix
Wait,
that.
is that why
They can
they're
just like
so
massage
bulgy?
it back into a ball.
No, so all you have to do they scratch
so.
it. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm doing in like 3 days.
His family
They
just has
scratch
large
it,
eyes.
and then they put vitamin B,
His
and then
sister
they
has
Not in 3 days.
they
it's next
laser
week.
it. It's 7 days from now, and then they laser it, and then it hardens it so it can't keep bulging.
Do you ever get scared about eye surgery?
Oh, yeah.
Like something could go
terrifying.
wrong. Like I know
Yeah.
this one
That's
guy,
scary.
who got like
really
dental
scary.
surgery and they hit a nerve.
Oh, my
and it caused
Lord,
chronic,
that's-
like
yeah.
extreme pain in his jaw for the rest of his life. So now he has to smoke weed all the time. Otherwise, he's in extreme pain. It's
horrible.
Like he has to smoke weed. Like he cannot
You actually
be
know
sober.
this person?
I
Yeah.
Yeah,
pray
he's
that
from-
never happens
in Florida.
Oh.
And he was just always in
Oh,
pain.
that's
I'm like, dude, that's so bad.
horrible.
I'm like so scared about
That's
like surgeries and stuff.
horrible.
Like when I'm under and I have no idea what's being done to me.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
afraid because I'm
Imagine
getting
when I
my
felt like
good
with my
eye done.
neck. I had neck surgery. I had it cut
You just
here,
have
and
to
they went
have
deep
someone
down
that can
in my
trust
neck
that
and
you
pulled out
trust.
all the shattered parts of the disc and replaced them.
Oh, see,
with 4
surgeries are
screws.
the fact that you can like cut people apart like that and just
It
like go into
blows
them
my
and do
mind.
weird
Oh, you have to
things.
think of it though. Like, think about a computer. If you were to break open a computer, there's some parts you can fix. It's like the same thing as a human. If you,
can
couldn't
fix
repair
it. You can
those,
also break it open and destroy it. And
I mean,
then it'll never work
obviously, but
again.
that's why you do your
also
research.
possible.
That's why you
Find
go-
someone
yeah,
you
you go to a
trust.
good doctor.
You're
and-
putting all your trust. I know you have to do this, but like you're putting all your trust in somebody, and you're like asleep,
Yeah.
and they're just tinkering
Yeah.
away
I
on
had
you.
no choice.
I
I was in
trusted
so much
someone to
pain.
cut my pecs open
Yeah,
what?
that's so crazy to
and
me.
Cut your
shove
what open?
pecs
Oh,
and
me too.
shove a freaking silicone object in there.
twice. Oh no, once for that, but then replacement's not like
Oh, this
that.
is reminding me of what Kate told me last night, which really disturbed me, and I had
What?
a hard time going to sleep afterwards because I kept thinking about it. In prison, so sometimes prisoners, when something like happens to them, they have to take them out of the prison and send them into the hospital, right? And one of the most disturbing things was, you know how people have like colostomy bags?
Mm-hmm.
So people, you're gonna have to bleep this. People basically the colostomy bags.
Oh my god!
What?
Yes.
I don't
You
understand.
mean the stoma? It's called a stoma.
Yeah, the hole in the bag.
It's a stoma. It looks like a. It
Yeah.
almost looks like
What?
a butthole.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then it gets infected, so they have to send them to the hospital to get it treated. I'm just wondering, what has to happen in your life to do something like that? Like how low has
You're
your
in
life?
prison for life. You're just like, screw it. Let's see what
That's-
happens.
How can you? How?
Well, you're already sick, I guess.
What is
That's why
going
you're
through
there.
your mind?
I don't know. People are
you
fucked
should have
up.
some
Wait,
prisoners on here
let
and
me.
ask them.
No, let me.
I can't answer that question.
I've been in jail once.
Really?
You've been in jail, not
jail,
prison.
just
Like county jail?
Held
Like-
for like a little.
That's-
How was
that?
that?
How
Cell?
Mom, how was your jail experience?
I wasn't really in a cell. I was chained to a table.
You were
What?
chained
Which is
to a
so
table?
Like a
fucked
cement
up.
table. Yeah.
What
it
did
was
you
a
do?
DUI.
As if she like
When I was
killed
like
someone.
30
Where'd they
right.
chain you? Like your feet?
No, they took my arm and put it onto the table there. And they
Like
took
you're
my
gonna
shoes,
run away.
and they wouldn't give me a jacket. It was so cold, and I was in a little dress. And then this guy that was next to me was a smoker, and he's like, "Do you have a light?" And I was like, I looked at him like the Exorcist, and was like, "No, like don't fucking talk to me." And that was that.
Oh my
I
god!
had
you
to sit
in?
there and say, I mean, I was there for like 2 hours.
Wow.
And then my friend was trying to pick me up, and he was following them to the wherever the precinct, and they turned off on purpose and lost him. So then he didn't
Oh
know
my
where I
god!
was.
What assholes!
Yeah.
Were there any?
And I'm like,
other-
I don't drink like that. And I didn't. I was like, it was a really weird situation. I was not drunk like that. I literally went to see my sister sing for like at a restaurant, and I just didn't. I just didn't eat enough. And there was a cop outside, an undercover cop, and he was watching me dance salsa, because I danced salsa back then with my friend in the parking lot. I looked drunk, but I wasn't really, and I wasn't from there. And my streets where me and dad lived, they were like one, you go one up and one down. It was like one lane. That was it. I don't know if you remember that. There was no 2 lanes or 2 lanes going in and out. Sorry, I'm doing what you did.
Well,
And
I
it-
learned my lesson because I watched the last podcast and I was swinging it around. And
I
then
told
yeah,
you. No, I said that to you
Yeah,
at one point. I
you
said,
did.
stop
Yeah,
swinging the
she
mic.
did. I didn't even notice I was doing it.
And it was terrible. That's the whole thing. The bottom line is everything was fine, but I ended up like telling them that like I don't drink, and I was serving like at my job was literally a liquor pusher, one of those models that walk in and would you like a shot? Would you like a shot? Would you like a shot? And then get everybody to drink shots. And my keychain was like one of those really heavy keychains, and every single keychain on it was a liquor keychain. It was like Tawaka, Jameson, and they're looking through my purse and they open it up and they see my keys and they're
Why
like,
are they
"You
looking
don't
through your
drink?"
purse?
Because that's what they were fucking with me, really bad that day. Yeah, it was bad.
So
the whole thing
I'm
was
sitting
bad.
next to a real life criminal right now. Were there
I
any,
wasn't
were there
in, like,
any
a-
other
I wasn't-
She's
inmates?
an
I
ex-convict.
wasn't in a
Yeah, you're an
cell though.
ex-con.
No,
at
you're
bars.
not. You have to be in like
You're a
federal prison for
felon.
that.
I'm kidding.
When you walked in, were the other inmates, did they look at you and were like, "Ooh."
There weren't any
I
except
was
the
gonna
one that
say
asked me
it's
to
not.
smoke.
It's just like the county
When you
jail.
walk
There's
in,
not
did they start
inmates.
screaming and pulling on the
Yeah. It wasn't
metal
like
gates?
that.
You're mine,
I
girl.
wasn't at like a
Once
jail.
again,
jail.
that's prison.
I was
she
at
went
the-
to
I know,
the
I
county
know.
jail.
Yeah, the county
All right,
jail.
wait, I have
Holding
something to talk
cell.
about.
Holding cell,
like
yeah.
where the
What?
sheriff is.
So, I've always had. Wait, hold on. I've always had this
The hell was
stance.
that?
My foot was stuck, and then there's something over there moved. I've always had this stance that when I have kids, they will not be allowed to go to other people's houses and have sleepovers. But recently I saw this TikTok, and it was basically a woman who was a correctional officer. So she worked in a prison, a men's prison. And she was like, my boss would always try to keep me like doing the things away from the inmates just because like I'm a woman, whatever. So she said one day I'm assigned to this one like cell block, whatever it was. And she was like, wait, which one is that? And she realized it's the one with the pedophiles. So she was like, great. Like, how's this going to be, whatever. And she was like, so I went, and she was like, and when I tell you, they were all the nicest, most respectful, like sweetest, calmest people ever. But she was like, it's because like the monsters in like the world that will do this to your kids are like the people you know.
Yeah, it's usually the people
And
that
that's
you know.
why
that
I will never let my
Closest
kids
to
have
you.
sleepovers because
you can't be like that though.
I don't care. I will be like that
Oh
because if
my
I can protect
Lord,
my kids
Claudia.
from something horrible like that happening to them, then I will. Until they're old enough to be able to be like
You can't
speak
like,
for themselves.
You
I
you can't
can.
control. I mean, you
No,
can
I
do it when
can.
they're young. Yes,
I
But,
can
like,
control
not-
as much as I basically want
So
until
you just
they're
have
18.
them over your house all the time.
Yeah, they can come to our house where I know what's happening, but I'm not going to send my kids to.
If I would have treated
Wait,
you guys
this-
like that, you would have hated me.
Hold on, this contradicts.
Oh, well, then they
this
can hate me.
contradicts with
See,
your
that's
opinion.
what I didn't
Hold
want.
on.
but I'm going to protect them from getting
This
freaking
contradicts
molested.
with your opinion on the public school thing, where you said you think your kid should go to like a public school to experience what it's
I
like to be
still
around people.
do. They're not. There
Experience
shouldn't be
bullying
one-on-one in
with
a
30 other
room.
kids.
Doesn't that go okay? But so
It doesn't
you won't
go
send them to
against it
somebody
at all.
else's house, but you'll send them to a public school where something could still happen like that. It's
Okay.
happened before.
Her kids aren't going to public school.
We're just
They're
gonna
going
teach our
private
children-
school.
I'm just saying.
We're going to teach our
doesn't-
children
no.
how to fight back and
There
tell
you
them
go.
if anything happens, you bite it off, you punch them in the face, you bite their ear off, you shove fingers in the eyes.
Oh, why am I picturing a scenario right now of Claudia standing there being like, and you pretending to be like a criminal or something, and you're like trying to teach. There's like this little 2-year-old
Right
kid,
there
like,
is where you dig.
and Claudia's like, poke him in the eyes, and Jesse's like getting poked in the eyes by some 2-year-old.
No,
screaming.
well, the thing is, this woman that was talking about this correctional officer, she was saying she herself has kids, and she was like, I won't let my kids have sleepovers at like their friends' houses that. Like, imagine the dad, you don't know. The dad's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
The older brother's a fucking weirdo. And you send your kid there and they don't realize that this is wrong, what's happening to them. And then you don't even find out until years later when they tell you, yeah, I was molested by this person in my life that you thought I was safe with.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what
I
if,
will
what
prevent
if
that
other
from
parents
happening.
think the same way about their children?
Then their kids
and
won't come to my house. I don't care.
Right, and then your children have no friends.
Well, I'm their friend. They can hang out with family.
Money will be their friend.
Well, I
your
never
kids are
liked.
going to be fucked up.
I just naturally never liked sleeping at kids' houses because I always felt super uncomfortable.
Jesse's going to make.
Same.
Jesse's
No,
going to
the
make
way
his
I see
kid-
it is-
It always made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
He's
never
gonna
liked
start
it
him
One at a
anyway.
time. You guys
He's gonna
always talk
start
at the
him
same
on
time.
YouTube. That's where my mind's going and thinking about Jesse going, here's a camera. Here's how to use YouTube. Let's go make videos.
No, they're not doing that either.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, what were you gonna say, Claudia?
Mom made me lose my train of thought.
Yeah, you made me lose my train of thought
I, as
too.
a child,
Blame it on
was
me.
I was too like afraid, not afraid, but
Oh, no.
I couldn't sleep over at kids' houses. I'd
Yeah.
always end up calling my mom and dad to
Exactly.
come pick me up at like I'd literally sneak down. I have vivid memories, even in the neighbors, and it was no bad reason. I just literally was like, I am homesick.
Yeah, but that's
so I'd
another
go
reason. It's like
downstairs,
you don't end up
take my
liking
foot
it
bone,
anyway.
fucking mom. It's dude. She's like, what? I'm like, come pick me up. And I would just, sometimes I'd be like, I would just be out and walk home because there's a few doors down. And like, I feel like I wouldn't tell the friend, and then they would just wake up and their parents would have to explain little Jesse wanted to go home.
Terribly sad.
Wait, so what was it? What like made you want to go home? Did you just feel like uncomfortable?
I was the same way.
Why would I want to be sleeping at someone else's house?
But I would wake my friend up, or we
Yeah.
wouldn't go to sleep. I would just be like, I
couldn't
really want to
sleep
go
and stuff,
home,
too.
and they'd be like,
Same.
why? I remember them crying.
Yeah, but
like,
see,
'cause I want to go
kids
home.
don't end up liking it anyway. They don't need to sleep at someone's house. Also, I feel like if you don't normalize that having sleepovers at your friend's house is like a normal thing. Like as an adult, I don't go sleep over my friends' houses.
Okay. I agree with this. When you're like a younger kid, you probably shouldn't just send them to like a random house, especially if you don't trust the people
when
like
they're like
whatsoever.
16 and they can drive and have their like
Then you need to give them some freedom, because I remember Dad wouldn't let me go to parties when I was 16.
When they're that age, I would
You'll
let them.
hate that parent.
But up until they're like at least 13, like they don't need to go to someone else's house. Like I just can see when you're like 12, I feel like the smallest things can scare you into just like not saying anything. And I would never want my kid to go to their friend's house or something, and the fucking weirdo uncle's there and like does something to them and tells them it's not wrong. Don't tell anyone. And then I don't know, something horrible that happened to my child.
But I also think if you communicate well with your child and they actually know what's wrong and they're not just like a complete idiot.
It doesn't even have to be that, because it can be a babysitter. Because I had weird babysitters.
So did
and
we.
The grandfather who was in the basement would have candy, and he would put it for my sister and I in bags on the outside of his door. And he knew that we knew it was down there. So we'd go down there and start peeking through the bag, and he'd hear it rattling and open the door. Hello.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I remember him actually standing us up, and this was a good Christian family, and she was like all her Christian ways.
It's always them.
And he put me on top of the bed, and I remember him just like, I don't remember him touching me in weird places. I just do remember him touching my jeans and just looking at us.
Ew.
While we're on
this
the
man?
bed. This old man was her father living in the basement.
And so
of
how
the
can you sit
friend's
there?
father?
Street.
How can
No,
you
no,
sit there and tell me
It was
that it's
neighbors.
horrible, that I want to keep my kids from sleeping at people's houses? Meanwhile, it
Because-
happened to you as a kid.
It was a babysitter though.
So imagine if I had babies, wouldn't you want me to protect them from things like that happening?
Definitely. But I would think that, yeah, I mean, I guess like who knew that there was a grandfather that was going to try to lure us into his dungeon?
Yeah, your mom didn't know that. And how horrible would she have felt
She
if
knew
she
when
knew?
we went home and told her. Eventually, once we caught on to it.
Sick. I would want to murder someone.
Okay, so I feel like you've got to allow them to be free, but if you teach your child,
Okay, but as a kid, they
to
don't need
understand.
freedom.
Yeah, but if you teach your child to understand, like I remember telling you guys, do not let anybody touch you in weird places. Nobody here, nobody there, and if they do,
Accept yourself.
you come tell me.
No, nobody should be touching you in general. No one should be forcing you to give them a hug as an adult. You know, when adults go up and they're like, give me a hug. And parents are like, give them
I
a
don't know.
hug.
I loved getting hugged by like 20-year-old girls when I was like 4 years old.
No, you didn't.
You're a little straight boy.
Dude, I had a
20-year-old
crush.
girls.
I had a crush on all of my. Where did you recruit our
babysitters.
babysitters from, by the way? Because we had some weird ones. We had some. I had a crush on every
Craigslist?
babysitter that we had.
No, I didn't get Craigslist. A lot of them were just like referrals. Oh, and no, a lot of them were from the gym I worked at when I was teaching.
The gym you
That's
worked
another
at.
thing
Did
I
you
don't
do any
trust.
background checks on the babysitters?
No.
that-
Not the one you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm
The
gonna
one you're talking
pay
about was a
for
referral.
like a psychological screening, like all those tests that you know how they were saying like on Love Is Blind, like how they were
gonna
all
run 'em through the
they all
ringer.
had like psychological screenings, like tested for any sort of like diseases and like everything. I'm gonna be like, if you want to work for
You gotta
me, like
answer
you're
this,
gonna
like,
have to
50
like get
No one's
wired
gonna
up.
do that.
quiz and
Then you won't
take
be
a lie
hired. I don't
detector
care.
test.
No, I
and-
would just, the only way I think I would ever trust someone, I don't even know. I would just have to get to know them. But like, even then, it's so hard to know if someone's being like their true self. Like, I don't trust anyone to come watch my cats because they obviously don't have a voice if someone was doing something fucked up.
Okay,
You
here's a
told
perfect
me your cats
example.
can talk to you.
I don't-
Last time I was at your house, you're like, they talk to me and they go, and I don't know what they're saying.
They do.
You literally said that.
But they
Only
can't
to
tell
her.
me. They
Only
can't.
to her.
They tell me little
do talk.
things. They tell me when they want food and stuff.
Okay,
but
So
they,
you
here's
speak
a
cat. You're
perfect
telling me you
example.
speak cat. Do you speak cat?
No, you
Yeah, of
speak
course.
Posey, and you speak Murphy, and you
Wait,
speak
I don't know if you
Cherry.
can put this name in there.
I know
but
my
I need to
cats.
ask her this. I need to know. You don't have to put the name in. So if your kids were kids' age, would you send them to house to sleep over?
what do you mean?
She's a friend. You know her.
If they were her,
If your
had kids the
children
same
were
age as them.
same age as her, would you send them to sleep over at her
Would
house?
you send them to your friend's
You
house?
know
to
I
sleep
don't
her.
over?
know.
You know her.
I don't know. I can't
How
say.
old are
I
they?
don't have kids
12?
right now.
11?
Like 9 and 11, I think.
I feel like they're like
That's sleepover age.
Well,
That's
see-
like a
enough
good
to know what the
sleepover
hell's
age.
The
going
only
on.
reason I would say that's a different thing is because I basically like for like 3 years kind of like part-time lived at their house.
Okay.
Like I would be there. I'd be
Because
the one
you
putting them
babysat
to
for them.
sleep
So
and
it depends
stuff.
on how well you know
still
them,
never know
to a
who would
degree.
come
but
into their
put
house.
it this
but-
way, the thing is, that's another thing. You don't know who's coming over.
No, but you can't.
Yeah.
I would let them go and play
you
there.
babysat when you were younger. So what do you think made you trustworthy to the
That's
people
the thing
that you
is like
babysat
I
for?
think about it and I'm like, I think it's actually crazy that like I know obviously that I'm trustworthy, I'm a good person, and I love kids, so I would never do anything to put them in like harm's way or anything, but she trusted me, so what I feel like was like easily given. She did know Christina and that's why, but I just feel like I'm like, if I was the wrong person, if I was a fucking wacko 18-year-old,
I knew some that I was friends
that's
with.
what I'm saying. Like
and
these,
they went babysitting and they told me some stories.
Yeah, and they'll
I
act
was
like it's like normal.
You did what?
meanwhile,
I
no,
couldn't believe-
I literally treated them like they were like my family. Like
Yeah, but that family put trust in you because you could be a
Exactly.
wolf
I can
in
see
sheep,
how-
sheep's
Yeah,
clothing.
I know.
Easily
Easily.
it can happen.
Yeah.
Where did you
Yeah,
get
you
that
could
line?
be a wolf. A wolf.
A wolf.
You could easily be.
you Marylanders.
Yeah. Kate.
Wolf.
My girlfriend Kate always makes fun of my accent when I say things like
Same.
banana.
Say lost.
Well, you
She
say
say
banana,
banana.
weird.
Las.
Brandon says
Las.
banana.
What's the,
Vegas.
What did you say?
He does not.
What?
Say that. Where
He
do you go
does.
to like gamble?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Las
How do you
Vegas.
say it?
Las
Banana.
Las
She always
Vegas.
makes fun of you for
Vegas.
banana and camera.
Las Vegas.
Could you say
camera?
banana? Camera.
Camera. Banana.
What did she
Camera.
say you're
Banana.
supposed to say it?
Camera.
Banana.
Camera.
Banana.
It's because we say it like
Camera.
camera and you say camera.
Banana.
It's-
What do you
it's
dry
quicker.
yourself with after taking a shower?
Okay. Weird.
Towel.
I say towel.
Well, I say water. My dad says water.
That's
Water.
weird.
Yeah, let me tell you, I used to have a Baltimore accent. I remember listening to tapes. We would tape
I did
record
too, and it was
ourselves,
so
and I would
bad.
listen to it, and I'd be like, "Ew,
Yeah.
it's horrible sounding." So I
really hear it
retrained
for-
the way that I speak.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but
I
I
try to
did.
talk better,
Claudia,
but mine
when-
used to be bad.
Yeah, when Claudia gets into it and she's like mad or something, or just like
It comes out.
drinking or something, I'm like, yeah, it comes out. And we always would say that she has like a trucker accent.
Well,
She
I
goes
say-
deep Baltimore.
when I
like,
say when I need a bowl, like a bowl,
A bowl.
I say can you give me a bowl?
A
B-O-W.
A
A
towel.
A bowl.
A
Give me
towel.
a towel.
Can I have a
Oh my
towel?
God,
What else
this
do you
all
say that I
sounds
always
so
make
weird
fun of?
now.
Huh?
What else?
Anything that's like W, I feel like.
No, it's L's.
Oh.
L's become W's.
Yeah.
I wonder if Kennedy,
A
once she
bow.
moves to New York,
A
if she'll
bow.
start saying, like my mom's Linda, if she'll start saying Linder.
No,
All the New Yorkers
That's
say
how my
er
dad talks.
I don't see
with
that.
an R at the end
Yeah.
of the A's.
I can't even hear
R's.
that.
Linder.
I can't. Your dad would not say Linder.
He says something about like with R's. Yes, he does.
okay. Anyway, speaking of babysitters,
You're not going to
We-
talk about that one.
I am.
Kennedy's not here.
I don't give a shit. Can,
Be nice.
no, I don't give a shit.
You can
she
re-talk
never
about
messaged
it.
me that she wasn't coming here, so we're gonna talk about
He's
it.
I know.
without
Me
her.
and
I'm
Claudia
Kennedy,
knew. She
guys.
tells the girls. She doesn't tell the guys.
We had
Sorry.
some of the hottest babysitters.
That's
What?
sick.
Yeah, we definitely did.
I don't know who you're thinking.
Bas-
Oh,
You
no,
and
like-
Annie?
Oh no.
wow.
I know
looked at me
who. I
like-
know who he's
Brandon, don't
talking
say
about.
weird shit like
I know who
that.
he's talking
What do you
about.
mean? I was 4.
You were not 4.
So to me, that's
was
all
like-
the.
You were not
that's
4,
all
'cause I
knew.
would've been 1
didn't
and I
know
wasn't
any
1.
It was
different.
like Lauren and Megan. They always came together. They were very cute girls.
Yes. Okay. So where did you find your babysitters?
The gym.
The gym. Okay.
Yeah, that was
where
the-
did you find the demon babysitter?
That was a referral.
Who referred that
I don't
girl?
remember who it was. But someone used her and said she's great.
Oh, so
Oh,
great.
yeah. She's great.
Who knew?
She's
she was
disturbed.
entertaining.
Who knew?
Yeah. So we had
Apparently.
a satanic
And I
demon
had no
babysitter.
She was
idea.
not satanic.
Yeah, she was.
No, she was just into like she wanted to get our reaction to weird
She
things.
only
but-
babysat once.
So she
Yeah,
put
she
porn
babysat.
on.
She
paid
babysat
her-
once. The
I
first
paid
thing
her
that she did.
before. I should have never
Well,
done
the
that.
girls loved her. The first thing that she did is she would take like 2 Barbies and she would like make them have sex together, and then she would get Claudia and Kendi to do it. That's weird. A babysitter should not be doing that to like
wonder how old- was she,
young
like,
kids.
16?
I don't even remember
traumatizing.
that.
It was kind of
Yeah, she's got
entertaining though. We were
issues.
also
I feel like
weird
we
kids.
loved it.
We were exposed to things like that at such an early age that it
Little
probably
freaks.
didn't phase us. Well, yeah, Yeah.
You guys were little freaks. You
And then-
used to hump your bed.
I feel like a
He
lot
had a
of
bunk bed,
young boys hump
and
their
I
bed
would walk
though.
in. I remember walking past the doorway and looking at him and going, Brandon, what are you doing? It feels good.
Yeah.
I was
Dude,
like,
I used to hump
stop.
random shit as a kid too.
I would walk by that bed and be like,
Ew, boys are so weird.
Yeah, I was like,
That-
please stop.
that
back.
pole on my bed is looking so good today.
No, I do the same shit. And
I was like, this
I
is
humped random
making me
shit.
uncomfortable. I don't like it. Stop.
maybe that's why I'm overly
Don't have
sexual.
a boy.
I didn't know a boy would do
Can't
that.
help myself.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't know that a boy would
I
hump
had
things?
no idea a boy would hump things like a little
when you
humping
buy a dog, a
dog.
Pomeranian, it humps
That's
everything in the
different. That's a
house.
dog.
A
And when
boy's the same.
And when you
No.
buy a boy, he does the same thing. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
exactly.
Yeah, at least you
When
weren't
you make a
humping
boy-
legs. You weren't ever humping your babysitter's legs, were you?
No.
Was he?
I probably wanted to. I didn't.
Jesus.
That would have
feel
been
like I
like
would
really
remember
bad
that.
behavior, and then they wouldn't have liked me. I always try to get their attention too. Like I locked myself in the bathroom in the basement at your house one time for what was her name? Like Julia or something.
Jillian?
Jillian.
Jillian? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Jillian was a pretty one, too.
Like,
She was smoking on our front porch.
well, I had a
weed
crush on her.
or cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
Oh,
I had a crush on her. She was, how old was she when she babysat us?
like 16.
She was like 16. I
15,
was
16.
How old was I?
Okay,
like
but imagine
10?
being 16 and smoking a cigarette on someone's porch.
I don't remember her doing that.
I do.
didn't
I would
smoke
always try
back
to get her
then.
attention though. Like I would fight for her attention. I literally locked myself in the bathroom and was freaking out and like crying about something and the only
Really?
reason was so she would give me attention. Yeah.
You got
my
some
God.
deep-rooted issues there,
It's
buddy.
so interesting to hear you admitting this right now.
I don't care. I did it.
I mean,
Like,
I didn't know.
They probably don't remember.
She babysat
I don't
a lot.
remember.
yeah.
I liked
Anyway,
her.
going back, we had a
Psycho.
psycho demon babysitter. So not only did she make us have sex with Barbie dolls when we were kids, but she would turn on porn and then just like
Okay,
watch
that's
and be like,
even
"What do you
weirder.
guys think
Wait,
of
turn
this?"
it on what?
I don't remember her saying, like, what do you guys think? She would put it on demand on the TV.
Yeah, it was on demand. Do you remember how? This is well before Netflix or any of that kind of stuff.
I didn't
Oh
even
my
know
God,
you
I
could
remember
get
there was
that
channels.
on
Yeah,
my
remember the premium
thing.
I would always be
channels?
afraid to buy it by mistake
Yeah,
or
you would go
something. My
there, it would be
parents would be
like-
like, "Where'd you do this?"
Like porn would be playing.
there would be porn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was like an unlocked thing on my TV.
It was on like DirecTV.
Yeah, you had to go to like adults only. Remember there was like an adults only
And you didn't
section?
have to pay for
Yeah.
it?
No, it was
No,
free.
it's
has,
free.
like,
It's like channel
TV
300 or
changed.
something.
Yeah,
And
it was like
and you click through like there's regular movies and then eventually there's
Exactly.
adult.
I had no
you
idea.
you go into like the thousands.
No, ours wasn't.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
no.
it's
It
super
wasn't
high.
channels. It was on demand. Remember, you hit the on demand
So you
button.
had to pay for
No,
it.
they had channels too.
It was that blue screen. You go to adults only, and then I remember you could go to like there's like a tab that was porn, and you click it, and
Yeah.
there was like options of things to watch.
Some of them were free, probably, or she charged it to your
No,
account.
I think it was free.
Yeah.
I don't
She's
know.
still alive.
Didn't she have like?
She sounds
This
like
is how I
very
remember her. I can't remember
chaotic.
her actual face, but she had like black hair
I
and like
remember what
eyeliner,
I don't remember at all.
I
and she
kind
wore all
of
black,
remember.
kind of like an emo-ish vibe.
The only thing I can
remember the
remember from
makeup.
her is that we were on the computer downstairs. Our computer was in the living room, remember?
Yeah.
And she looked up this weird website that had photos of people that had been in brutal car accidents and
That's
stuff.
disgusting.
And they were
She
like
was wild,
dismembered
yeah.
bodies, like pictures of them.
I'm
and
telling
she
you,
was
she was a
showing us.
disturbed. Like she wanted to see how we
See,
reacted.
you guys
She
didn't
was like,
tell
That's
me
probably
all of
why-
that.
in
She's
her
a
mind-
traumatized woman.
Well, yeah, she was probably like, these kids are so innocent. I want to see how they like react.
That's
to
probably
these
why
sort of
I'm like
things.
so interested in like murder mysteries and things like that, because she like showed
If
me
I
that
would have
at a
known
young
that,
age.
see, all you told me was the story about the carrot. If I would have known all
Oh,
of
wait,
that,
tell that one. Tell that one. I don't remember the
how
carrot.
can I tell it? Oh, what from what you guys told me? Because I don't.
Well, I
wasn't
don't
there.
remember the carrot one.
All
yeah.
I know is that you didn't want her back. You said, I said, how'd you like the babysitter? And you're like, You like, as much as you liked it, you didn't want her back. So I was like, what?
What did she do to a
What's
carrot?
going on? And you said, she sat you guys around the kitchen table and had a carrot and was practicing showing you how to do blowjobs.
Oh, why do I
On a
kind of
carrot?
remember that?
So it was like a health class.
Literally, why did she
Did
go?
you eat the carrot
This was
afterwards,
all
or you
in
don't
one
remember?
night.
I don't remember.
And well, then as soon as I heard that, I was like,
let's
what?
fuck these kids up in this least amount of
I
time.
was like,
Yeah,
she
how
did
fast can I do that?
what?
Speed run.
I'm like, okay, you know what?
That's messed up.
I'm done. But if I would have heard that about looking up a website and showing you traumatic stuff and the other crap that you with the
I would've-
Barbies, that's
Did you
like
not
to me
say
that's
anything
typical.
to her? I would have called her up and been like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I would have called. I would have called.
Why
her.
didn't you knew about the
know what? I
carrot
might-
blowjob? That's
I
the worst
might
part.
have reached out to her. I can't remember.
I feel like you did. I feel like
I
you
think
said
I
something
did. I
to
think
her.
I said
I remember
something.
it became like kind of a big thing.
Yeah, I think I said something to
Yeah.
her too. But because I didn't have her parents' number and I only had a contact number for her, for all I know, she was a fucking runaway. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know who she. I mean, I can't believe I paid her before, too. She could have left you kids.
It was kind of fun though. Either way, I loved being babysat.
I'm just glad you guys were honest with me and told me that, like, you know, as much as you were entertained, you
You're
didn't
a
like
fucking
her.
mommy's boy. You just wanted your mom home.
No, I liked
I don't think
being
you felt
babysat.
safe with her, though.
No, you didn't.
I didn't feel safe with her.
You never wanted mom to leave.
No, you definitely
No,
didn't
the one
want
I
me to
liked the
leave.
most when I was really young was, bleep the name obviously, was I had such
And
a big
Megan.
crush on her. She was
Both
like
of them were
20.
hot.
How old was she? Like 20 or 22
They're
or something.
still good looking.
I was
And
like,
her
I was
their
literally
mother.
like 4 or 5, and
Yeah.
I was. It's like she would hold my hand. I thought she was my girlfriend. I'd be like, oh,
You were
yeah, I got the
not
hottest
4 or
girlfriend.
5 because I would have
Yeah,
been
he's
like
definitely older
Kenny
than
would have
that.
been born. You were like 7 or
She would
8.
hold my-
definitely
Okay, but why
older
is she
than
gonna
that.
hold the hand of like a 10-year-old? That's weird. Like, there's like
It's
an
not
age that
weird.
gets
She
too
would
old to
definitely-
hold a little kid's
No, no,
hand.
no,
Still
No.
thinks
that's
it's his
not 10.
girlfriend. He's like, no,
That's
like
not
I
10.
dated
10
her.
is still so young.
10 is very young. Very innocent and young.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
know.
yesterday I was looking at my YouTube comments and someone
Mm-hmm.
commented that I always pull away when Jessie kisses me, and someone else commented
Maybe
because someone else commented and wrote because she secretly hates him.
Listen, it's true.
Shame.
Well, no, it's
Test
so
it.
funny
Kiss.
because
Kiss.
no, the reason they probably see
You just did it again.
She threw me away.
the reason
Well,
they
first
probably
of
see me
all-
do that. No, listen, is
because she-
because I have makeup on, and
Right.
if he,
I was just going
if
to
he
say
kisses
that.
me too hard.
Do you know how much I
They must be
hated
virgins.
when I first got my makeup on and my boyfriends would try to kiss me or like hard and
yeah,
like,
and then it
the
would
makeup
get
go
all over their
the place.
face. Then my
hated
lipstick's
that.
all
Listen,
smeared.
she knows that
so
I
when
just go
do
for the
it,
kiss.
No,
I'm trying to make out.
You can just do a little
no,
peck.
he'll just like smush his face into mine, and then he has my foundation
I don't
all
like
over
the
his
little.
lips.
That's stupid.
Right, there you
So
go.
like I don't back away. I just kind of like back up a little because I know he's gonna
She
push
flinches.
hard. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
Meanwhile-
interesting because Kate lets me
Yeah.
do it. I have like cute aggression, so I'll grab her face and be like, and like kiss her
I-
like aggressively.
Damn,
can't stand when
And
I
her
first
makeup
put
probably
makeup
just goes
on.
everywhere. She doesn't say anything.
Well, she probably didn't just put it on.
No, she just puts it
Really?
on. Yeah.
Oh, she probably just likes the attention. She'll just go back and fix it.
I probably.
She doesn't wear a lot of makeup anyway.
Yeah,
I've
she
probably
doesn't.
eaten so
No.
much makeup. It's insane.
Yeah, but then
I probably
I don't
see
consumed
her
an
with-
entire
He'll
thing of
kiss
blush.
me, and then his lips will look like they're so chapped because they have foundation all over them.
It's like,
And then I'm like, you need to wipe your face off. It looks like you're like sick. And then
So then
yeah.
correct them and tell the audience that you actually like me.
Well, obviously I do. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not gonna lie. So like, I think people don't realize that Claudia doesn't like filming the way I film. Like, I'm very like extroverted
Yeah.
when I film, and especially when we're in public, which is most of the time or something. So unless I am solely vlogging with her, like in the house or something, then it's fine and our interaction's normal. But if we're out and doing something like embarrassing, she's hating her life
hate
on
it.
it. So many people will comment and be like, dude, like this was more like when she was my girlfriend at the time, now fiance. They'd be like, oh, dude, your girlfriend like sucks. She doesn't like you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. She just hates filming in public.
Yeah.
And I'm forcing
I
her
shut
to.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I,
literally turned
remember
into
when
a
I
But
painted
But I've learned
her.
to just stop.
The
I mean,
one
very
time
rarely I film with
when
her.
I painted you, I remember I said, "Why don't you were asking me to go out with you to dinner?" I said,
Yeah, I
"Why
had
don't you
you
ask
on
your
my date.
girlfriend? Ask
Yeah.
Claudia." And she's like, "He goes,
No
she does
way.
not want to go. There's no way." So I
No,
asked her,
I can't
Yeah.
stand
and
that
she
like
said,
attention.
"No, I don't want to do it." And I said, "Fine, I'll
Yeah.
just go."
It literally makes my anxiety like at a high, and I feel like I need to like curl up in a ball.
Because she thinks about other people's like point of view
I'm
when we're out.
literally
I
the
don't.
biggest-
I do that
I
too.
disregard
I don't
the
give
shit
a
out of
shit.
it.
I
I'm
do
the
the same
biggest
thing.
empath people pleaser.
Yeah.
I think about what everyone else. I don't care about how I feel, but I'm like, this person might not want to be on camera. This person's probably feeling uncomfortable, and then I'm like, I can't do it. I simply can't.
I don't think about that at all.
Yeah, I do
No,
the
I
same
know
thing.
you
Yeah,
don't.
Must be nice.
Jesse doesn't
Does
at all. That's why
I forget everybody exists when I'm filming.
Yeah,
when I film in public with you, like you help balance it out a little bit. Like if I did it by
Yeah,
myself,
yeah.
it'd be terrible. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't end up doing anything. But like when I'm with you, I'm like push a little bit further than I
Yeah.
normally
Yeah, that
would.
was like when we had the body paint channel, and you guys would all just
Yeah.
sit there like little duds, and you're like, you'd come
God.
over to me, and go, Mom, can you just start? The model wouldn't even say anything, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to do it again and again and again, and I hated it.
Well, it would be
But I
so
start
stressful
it.
because we would you would paint like a naked girl and then we would take her to a mall and I was just cringing the entire time.
Yeah,
like I would
that's
see
me.
security looking at us like,
And I'd be like,
and
we
like
have to
people walking
leave.
by
They're
getting
mad.
mad. Cory would be in like the corner with like a
Staring at me.
yeah, he would have like a camera with a really long lens.
Cory didn't give a shit,
like
though.
zooming from the distance, and then some lady would be like, And
I
like, people
remember
would
one
think that
lady
they were
came
being
over to
filmed.
Cory, and Cory was concentrating, and
Oh,
she said
God.
something about like, "Are you filming me?" And he was like, "I'm not." I don't know what you said, but you were like, "I'm not filming you," and she wouldn't leave you alone. You went, "Can you please leave me alone? Like I'm filming."
Professional.
Yeah, it was. You're not in it. You're not in it, lady. You're not in it. Go away.
No, I see. I can't do it. I hate confrontation. I hate causing a scene in public.
Well, it's crazy because when I first started, I didn't care, and they changed me. I started getting anxiety about it,
But yeah, 'cause
especially one of them because we got kicked out of the mall. And
It would
that
be
one
so
did me
intense
in.
and draining that like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like I couldn't even think straight.
Yeah.
It feels like the life was sucked out of you.
It's really
for
really
Jesse,
is.
like I feel like it gives you more
It
energy.
does
gives
give
me
him.
energy.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
I like can't relate to that.
he also
part.
has
He
this like
loves it.
little
He loves
this
being
little way
attention
about
like
him
that.
that he can like get people to basically do like whatever he
Anything.
wants.
Yep. Yep.
Superpower.
He's
No,
like
it's crazy.
a little charmer.
Yeah.
Not me. I'll just be like, okay, I'll
Jesse's
leave.
like all for it, and I'm like standing back, going, "Oh God, what's
You just
gonna
have to
happen?"
smile when you
It's-
talk.
You walked in front of like
That's
35
true.
for
You can
40
look inviting.
You could
police
say anything
officers.
to somebody,
Remember
but if you
that?
say it,
you
like,
were heading
charmingly-
right to the police officers, and I was like,
Yeah, there was a group of like literally 30
And
police
he's, like,
officers.
naked in
and I'm like,
underwear,
Joe, start
basically.
filming. Let's get this.
Yeah, well, you're
Right.
always smiling. Like Claudia and I always have like RBF.
yeah,
Yeah.
people
So, like-
think I'm probably evil because I'm
Like our natural look is like
Yeah.
"That's one thing I
just me being
love about
scared.
you." I have to say,
What, that I smile?
That every time I see you, it is a big smile and hello, how are you, and a good greeting, a hug, and like, how are you? Like that's amazing. Yeah, you're.
Aww.
I don't
Just
know
'cause
if
he-
that's
Thank
from
you.
your parents or if
he
it's
gets
just
it.
you or
He
just.
feeds off of other people's energy. That's why he likes walking into a room full of people. He likes
That's why I come every
socializing.
Wednesday.
Yeah, this is so. He likes to come
'Cause
talk
it is
to everyone.
Energy in you,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Because I'm 100% an extrovert.
Which is so funny
I love
because
that.
we're
I would say I'm an
opposites.
extrovert for the right people.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, if I'm filming and it's strangers and it's a good vibe, that's good.
Fuzz on your chin.
But if it's like, I'm not always an extrovert for everybody. It depends.
Yeah,
like
but
how,
you're not. You'd never be like walk into a room and like just not say anything or not look at anybody. Like
Yeah,
you
I
would
guess so,
never
you're
do
right.
that. You just be like, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
Hey, acknowledge people. I can't stand when people walk in a room and you feel invisible. They don't even like, "Hello, I'm
Well, that's
sitting
probably
here."
because they're thinking about a bunch of other shit. and
Yeah,
they're
'cause
just
they have problems.
distracted.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
but also,
issues.
see, I feel like I'm more introverted, but I'm also not like that. Like, I know how to approach people. I know how to talk to people in public. Like, I'm not, I guess because I worked at a restaurant for so long.
definitely helped
And I
you.
had to go up to people, strange people at tables and talk to them and put on this performance basically every night.
Yeah, that kind of blew me away that you learned that so quick.
I
'Cause you
see,
weren't like that before.
Well,
that.
working at a restaurant is one of the best things you can do, in my opinion. Because I worked at a
I-
restaurant for like a year or
Yeah,
two.
you both worked
and,
at the
and
not the same one.
it
though.
makes you realize how difficult that type of job is,
It's
and it
so
makes you
hard,
appreciate
yeah.
other things so much. Catering
Yeah.
to people, like
it's draining.
constantly,
It's so draining.
It's really
Yeah.
draining, especially if you don't have an extroverted personality and you're more like introverted, like you and I
I
are.
just knew, like, I was like, okay, once I'm there and I get to my first table, like, I know that's a thing. Like, I'm a social person. I like being nice and having good conversations with people, but
Yeah.
Well, you were really good at it. People liked you and they came back just for you and asked for you.
yeah, they would
right?
request
and they would
me
give you good tips.
because I would just like walk up and like talk to them about whatever. Like I talked to them about how I'm in nursing school or like how I don't know, like anything whatever they wanted to talk about. Some people didn't want to talk and that was fine, but I was always
Yeah.
polite. Also, if anybody ever had a problem, like their food came out and they didn't like it, I'd be like, take it
you
right
take
off
it
the
back
table.
and you spit in it and take it right back
No,
out.
no. But I was always the type to be like, I'd go to the manager and be like, take this off the bill. They didn't like it. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, but you ate half of it. Like, no, you didn't like it. Give me it. You ate the whole plate and you didn't like it. Give me it.
My grandmother would have loved you. She did that all the time.
I just, because I'm like, you will gain so much more from treating people that way and making sure they have a good experience rather
Yeah.
than making it difficult for them. And I always felt, because I'm a fucking people pleaser and an empath, I always felt terrible if someone had like a bad dinner experience but they didn't say anything to me and I didn't know. Like, I remember this one woman, like, it was this whole thing, but it was a really busy night. Basically, she wanted a steak. She wanted it like butterflied or something, which is like cut down the middle and thin and cooked better. It wasn't cooked enough for her or something. I took it back in the kitchen and the fucking kitchen staff put it in the microwave because it was we were
that's gross.
so busy though, like slammed.
that's
like
gross.
there was, every table was full. There were so many people in the restaurant. They did that and I was like, I know this is a bad move, but obviously what am I going to do? Tell the freaking chefs to put it back on the grill, make her a new one, whatever. I took it back. She didn't say anything to me about it, but she ended up like, I could tell she didn't eat it and she didn't like it.
I remember you telling me that.
I was like, I felt so bad, but like at that point it's like there's only so much I can do. It wasn't my responsibility. Like I did my part, and yeah. So anyway, obviously I remember it to this day. So clearly I felt really bad about it. But other than that, I feel like I always did a pretty good job at making sure it was like.
Yeah, anything in hospitality is really rough.
You had even
like,
broke Kennedy open because she wasn't working and she was hostessing for that.
She really
and that
hated
helped
it,
her.
though.
She struggled though.
She hated it.
I know.
I mean, I don't blame her. People like the host was always the one that would get like the brunt of it when we were busy.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a table. I remember this one guy like freaked out on like the host, and Kennedy was like crying because of it.
Well, if you went into nursing, it would have been like that, like hospitality times like 10. Because when I talked to Kate about it, she's like, this is like serving people at a restaurant, but like times 100. Because
Except the thing is,
it's the worst day of people's lives. Imagine people coming to your restaurant and it's the worst day of their lives, and they're like, and you need to help them. That's nursing. It's like,
and they're scared.
Has to be. I always tell her like that has to be like one of the hardest jobs, and it's ER nurse. So people coming in there like have legs blown off and like crazy shit.
Oh, she's got some crazy stories.
Yeah.
I would have nightmares.
Well,
I don't know how she does it.
That's why I feel like when I did nursing, I always thought in my head, I'm like, this is so similar to working at a restaurant because you're going in people's rooms. It's usually someone you don't know, a stranger, and you basically have to like do these tasks for them. The only difference is you're not there to make sure they have a great time. You're there to make sure they're healthy and you know, comfortable, and you save their life basically.
Well, and the sad part is a lot of people who come in don't have any appreciation for it because they don't realize what the people who are like serving them have to do. They're not only serving them, but they're serving like 10, 15 other people
but
at the
also
same
it's like,
time.
how can you, it's really hard to have appreciation when you're like in the worst pain of your life or you're having a horrible
No,
day.
it is true. But if you're ever in that situation, I talked to like Kate about this, and she was telling me that like when the people are really nice, even though they're going through something, it makes the nurses want to cater to them more than the people who are like constantly complaining or being like belligerent. Like people come in who like got shot or something and are belligerent on top of that.
Oh my god.
Like, don't touch me, don't do this. It's like, you just got shot. Like you should probably you need help.
I mean, think about how much pain you're probably in. I'd probably be fucking flipping out too.
I agree, but if you're in pain and also like belligerent and like hitting people, like there's crazy people. There's crazy people who go to the hospital. She tells me some like wild stories.
Yeah,
I mean
she's
I
also
can
in a city
understand
hospital.
like people are in pain, they're
craziest it
screaming, and they
gets.
want
It's so crazy.
medication.
It takes a special kind of person to be an ER nurse. You have to be fast on your feet and also be able to
thank
handle all
God
that.
for those types of nurses and people like her, but
And they're so underpaid.
You decide you want to do something like that?
Because
I don't know. Rough job.
I think people going into it, they go into it really wanting to help people, and then once you get into it, you realize how hard it is, and it's really draining for a lot of people who do it.
Does she like it? Does she say
like
she wants to eventually?
Have you ever seen Severance?
Oh, you
where it's
keep
like-
I've
saying
seen a
that
few
to me. I've
episodes.
got to watch it.
Okay, basically the gist is that you have a separate like work personality,
yes, dude, was that
personality.
weird
and then
show
a
we
real life
watched?
personality, and they sever,
With
they,
that
in a sense,
redhead
sever your
girl?
brain.
Right.
Is that the one with the guy from was he from like The Office or something? Or no,
Parks and-
he
no.
plays Derek from Step Brothers.
Yes.
Yes, and he goes in and it's weird. He forgets like the outside world.
So your work life is completely separate from your real life, and and
We
people
gotta
do
watch
it
it.
because they go through trauma in their real life, and they just want it to be like separate. 'Cause they have a hard time working in reality. But that's how I kind of see like really tough jobs like nursing. It's like when you're there, it's almost like you're in a different reality, and then you
literally.
go back to real life, and you have to almost empty it from your brain because you're experiencing everyone's trauma all at once.
Yeah, but also it's such a weird thing because when you like, obviously I never did ER, but from all the clinicals that I had to experience, and obviously some days were more like traumatic than others, you go home and you can't even in words describe like what you saw to anyone that's like in your life. So basically it's just like you lived. That's why I became so close with my nursing friends. I feel like because not only was nursing school traumatic, but like clinicals could be traumatic too. So we all experienced it basically together, and they were the only people in my life that I could explain it and would actually understand what I was talking about.
It's just so hard
Because you can
gets
explain it in
your
words, but
subconscious
it's
too,
not
though.
it's not things that like, unless you're seeing it, like you see things in the hospital, I guess, that you would never even know in real life were like a real thing, like gaping holes in people's bodies that are like
I know.
wounds and like things like
exactly. And like I definitely feel like super sheltered because I've never seen anything like that in person. It also like seeing blood or seeing like a limb
I can't imagine being
Like, I can't do it. I'll become
imagine
woozy.
being like a homicide detective.
How that you're that sensitive.
I can't even
homicide
give
detective.
blood.
Yeah,
Jesse
you
saw
get
me. I almost
dizzy
passed
every
out giving blood.
time.
I'm like, imagine being
turn
in like
white.
the woods
Yeah.
where the body was found, and you're like, oh, just hiking along,
but
and then
I
you
feel like
find a
that's
dead
not
body.
as gory. That like you see, it
Still, it's
might just
weird.
look like someone's laying there, but like
I would freak out.
you going to the I had to go to an anatomy lab. This was before nursing school. Basically, it was an extra credit thing, so obviously I did it. And you go to this anatomy lab, and the end of the lab is an actual like full person's body, and you go in and they have like things deconstructed on it, like the intestines are out and things like that, so you can see what it
Yeah,
looks
that's
like.
gross.
Like for example, the guy had like a knee replacement, so they had like the knee up in this position, and like this part was open, so you could see. And like
Ooh.
I see none of it ever. Surprisingly, I always thought I was gonna feel really dizzy or really grossed out, but I never did. Like I was always like in my head about it. Like, am I gonna feel sick? Am I gonna get nauseous? But like I
Did
didn't.
you ever look at it and were like, I can't believe this is like a real human? Like, this was like a
Yeah,
living
that was just-
animated
doesn't look
being
fake.
at one
Honestly,
point.
that was more disturbing than like anything in the hospital because they like had the head wrapped in like an ace bandage, so you couldn't see
Ew.
their face. So it was just like this body on a metal
I could never.
bed thing.
Ever.
But like in the hospital, the things. Honestly, it was worse because there was like
Well, I put
more
makeup on a dead
smells.
body.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
Three
she would do
times.
makeup on dead bodies like for
feel like-
funerals and stuff. Like she did my dad's mom, like our
Yeah,
grandmother when
because
she
they
died.
wanted her really natural, and I was the only one. I did her makeup so many times. I knew.
I feel
what
like
to
at
do.
least though they're like emptied of everything. Like there's not.
Yeah, but it's weird because they're very cold. And
Yeah, it's just their
hard.
skin.
Like their
So-
skin's so
it's
hard,
so
and it
weird. I
feels
couldn't do it.
plastic like. So
So
it's
weird.
like
They don't
you
even
have to
look like
literally
themselves.
no. You literally have to like mix makeup with something else like Vaseline in order to get it on. And you know how you powder your face? You can't powder it because
Yeah.
it'll just lift off. But there was one that was really bad, and she had bruises, and it was just sad. It was very weird, and it took a lot more. And then I did my great aunt. So I don't know. I could do that. I feel like I could do that. I feel like I could do it. I feel like I could do it because it's an art.
You could do the makeup, but you could not do the morgue part of it.
I don't know if I would want to do a kid. No, I wouldn't want to empty them and put formaldehyde and all that. But I don't know if I could do like a baby. I don't know how I would feel about it. But
Once they're
I
already in
also
the casket, I feel honestly, I feel like I would be able to do it because it's like you can easily tell yourself that it's like not real. Like
yeah. And, well, it also feels like once the soul is literally gone from a body,
it just seems like a thing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a shell. It's just like
they don't
like a
even
fake
look like
body. That's what it feels
themselves
like
anymore.
from like Hollywood.
It's like a wax
like
figure.
a movie set.
Did it make you like feel any different that you were like confronting death in a way by just sitting over a dead body by yourself in a room doing its makeup?
No, I just felt like if anything,
to
I
me
felt like
that's not confronting death.
it's really
Well,
not.
Confronting death is like seeing
we'll
someone
think about
die.
somebody who is like running like a funeral home or something. They are kind of like confronting
Oh,
death
that's
on a daily
different because
basis.
they're
Or
getting
working in a hospital where you see people
The
dying.
morgue, yeah.
I could
or
picture
the
this.
ICU.
I could picture, you know, that like they say, like the body leaves and goes up and looks down. I was like looking around. I was like, "Are you
You
watching
probably
me
feel
do
like
this?"
that every night when you
Imagine
get high.
if she's,
I don't get
what
high
would you do
every
if
night.
they like sat up?
Oh
my
my god!
God.
Oh, they they
go,
can do that.
What would you do if it was
Yeah.
like?
They do that sometimes.
What
Oh,
would
I
you-
would have ran.
What
the
would you
fuck
do
out of
if
that
you were
room.
doing its making? It was like, help me. What would you do?
What would I do?
I'm gonna go.
First of all, I don't think it would do that.
I'd slap it across
Second
the face.
of all,
and say, did you
I
feel
would-
that?
But they do jump sometimes.
What do you mean they
Like,
jump?
No, they don't
They'll
jump.
jump
They'll have it
sometimes,
like
or
the bones
it's
or
air.
something.
Air
Like,
gets in their body
'Cause they're
and it's not
decomposing.
completely like out. They'll like they could lift a hand or jump or
I'd shit my
I would
pants.
freak the
Or
fuck
burp,
out.
what everyone.
But like the ones that I've done
burped
were
on you.
usually
Be
like,
So there's air in us right now.
Yeah,
Right now,
obviously,
yeah.
your
but,
lungs.
no, but when you die,
Wow.
you're decomposing,
It's not
so it like
funny.
creates like pockets
they
of air. and
remove
then it
everything, like all your
comes out.
organs, everything comes out.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
That's
they drain all your
crazy.
blood.
That's
I
disgusting.
think it's cool though because I would love to be able. There was a time where I was seriously looking into doing it. But like a lot of those funeral homes are very family owned,
Yeah.
and they kind of don't let other people
Well, they'll
in.
do like usually the person who's
And-
doing the like
yeah.
the mortician side of it will also just do
This
the
is a
makeup.
special request, and I'm actually in somebody's will that when they die, that it's only me who can do their
wow.
makeup.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn,
Who?
you should be
Or I
proud of
guess you can't
that.
say
I
who.
mean,
That's like a huge accomplishment that I've never heard of before.
I was very like, wow, that's.
Should we be writing a
wild.
wills?
Yes.
All right, I
should
think
have
we're
a
at
will.
we're at
I gotta
50
fill
minutes.
no,
up
we're
the
so-
not
will.
done.
What?
Brandon,
I have three
Brandon
more
still
things.
has caffeine in
Brandon,
his body.
you're
He's
gonna have
ready
to save
roll.
him.
I have
Because you're
3
too
more
late.
things in my mind, and I
Alright,
need to
go.
get them out.
Let
and
him just say 'em then.
Jesse will be interested in these
What?
two.
Hit me.
Okay, so first 2 things. I learned about 2 types of dominatrixes, and you know a lot about this because you're kind of one
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Is that women that dominate you?
But yeah, women that dominate you. The first
Okay.
one is a financial dominatrix. Okay, what she does is imagine you have a whole bunch of money. Shouldn't be
Okay.
hard for you because you do. You have a whole bunch of money, and basically the financial dominatrix, she has control over your money. So if you need money for gas, you have to ask her. So you have to say,
Oh my
can I
God.
please have money for gas? Can I please have
You
$50 for
wish.
gas? And the financial dominatrix will
You'd
say,
have no money left.
she'll say, no, you cannot have $50 for gas. You can have $2 and you have to ride the bus.
What?
And you
That's
have to
just
go,
weird.
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
bizarre.
Yeah. And it's,
So that's
it's usually
bizarre.
guys with a lot of money.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
interesting?
some
That's like he
deep,
was abused or
deep
something.
problem.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
That's
financial
weird. My
advisor,
financial
but a woman.
advisor does those things. No,
And she's a woman and she's 25.
Shut up.
how old are you?
27.
Damn, you're
Since when
27?
did you hit 27? What the
I
hell?
told somebody you were 26 the other day. I fucked that up.
That's crazy that you're
Yeah.
27.
You want to talk? You're 29.
You look like
I've
you're
got a
18.
You
Cougar.
guys are
You're
five.
my
to
hair.
me.
I'm
You gotta.
sorry.
You're always gonna be 5.
You're almost 30.
I'm 5. I know, isn't that kind of
30.
It's
crazy?
insane.
That's
I was
fucking
thinking about that,
weird.
man. Like, I'm gonna be like 40 in 10 years.
Are you
Like when I was
gonna-
20, I was thinking about like I can't imagine what it's like when I'm 30. And then
Are
like,
you going to get married and
30.
have kids?
I mean, maybe
Eventually,
we'll see.
He will.
You're 30.
Eventually.
You don't got much time
We'll
left.
see. No,
He doesn't have
he
to worry
does.
about having a baby. He can get married
guys
anytime.
Don't have to. But the
It's the women that has
women
to.
do. Yeah. No, I will. I definitely want to have kids at some point, but like when I'm like feel very stable.
When he's
Okay,
like
but then
50.
when you're 40,
Right now I
so
gotta
wait,
work.
then you're old as shit and you're like 80 and your
Oh,
kids
that's
are
true,
40.
I'm not
but-
gonna be
yeah.
80. Why do you think I'm gonna be 80?
If you have kids at 40,
Well, everyone's gonna be 80.
when you are 80,
Imagine.
your kids will
Hopefully we
be
make it to
40.
80.
That's not that bad.
Yes, but think about
They're
it
adults,
now.
hopefully,
Like
at that point, they
your
can take
mom
care
is
of
in her
themselves.
70s and you're in your 50s.
No, I do like being close to my mom as far as that. We're only 20 years
I think
apart.
maybe in my 30s I'll have kids. Not right now. I'm not ready. Definitely not ready.
Well, that's
right now
weird.
I can't have a kid.
My
about
mom
me.
and I are 20 years apart, and Dakota and I are 22 years apart.
Oh
No
my
way.
gosh.
Yeah. Whenever I think
Dakota's
about
like, "Wait,
this,
what?"
whenever I think about that, my mom's
That's so weird
My
to think
mom's
about it.
girlfriend is basically my age. How old are you again? 32. 30, okay, so you're only like 2-3 years older than me, which
That's
is
funny.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's
Anyway, next dominatrix. Okay,
Hit me.
this dominatrix likes to, or the guy who likes this dominatrix, the dominatrix catheterizes the guy.
Okay, that's
So he gets off on
gross.
catheterization, which is when they put the thing in your
Ew.
urethra.
At least he doesn't have to get up and pee a lot.
Yeah, but the girl has no medical experience, so he likes a girl doing it as no medical experience. So like she
That's just
sticks
dangerous.
it
He
in
probably
his,
gets infections because it's a sterile procedure.
Ugh, that is
yeah,
really
and then
bad.
I doubt they're using a sterile tube to do
I
that.
can't say my
well,
real
if you
thoughts
don't
on
have
this stuff.
experience,
Wait, how do you know this?
we're in the sterile field.
Did Kate have
No,
to
I just
treat
heard
somebody
about
like
it.
that too? Oh.
She probably did. She actually does a lot of those.
Yeah, that's really weird.
And she touches other men's.
You have to.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah,
mean?
nurses.
She's
you
like,
touch, nope. You
she
touch
doesn't.
men all the
I have
time.
a boyfriend.
To put a catheter in, you have
Oh,
to.
I thought I don't know where I just went with that.
But she's like, I don't see like a penis the same way when I'm at work. I'm like, I hope not.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I really hope not.
I'm like, so how big was it?
That's just weird. I guess there's a
well-
lot of dominatrix weird
What's the
shit out
third?
there.
Okay, the third thing is not about dominatrixes,
Okay.
but I found this very interesting, and it like kind of like blew my mind a little bit. Okay, so you know the movie 300.
Yes.
Okay, so it's about the Spartans, who were
Yeah.
like the deadliest warriors in the world. Blah blah blah. Like that's why a lot of sports teams are called the Spartans because
Yep.
they're like so
I-
badass.
my high school, Spartans.
Oh, it was.
Dead ass.
Oh, this is interesting then. Okay, so all they would do is train. They would train their entire lives from the time they were like a little kid to older. If the kid had any kind of like disability or like something was wrong with them, you remember in 300 they would kick them into the pit.
Oh my God.
Right? They would get rid of them. They would like dispose of that person because they were a weak link in the chain. So when they were 13 or around that age, they were paired with somebody older than them who would train them, and they would train every single day. They would train them and they would condition them for war. Not only did they train them and condition them for war, but they were also their lover.
What?
So
I heard
that
this.
is
so
bizarre.
the young Spartans would be paired with an older lover,
Ew.
and they would gain an intimate sexual relationship. And the reason that they did this is so when they went to war, you wanted to protect your intimate partner. So the Spartans were all actually just gay. And
Yeah, I've
before they
heard
would
that.
go into battle, they would all like have an orgy and have sex with
I
each other.
believe it. That's where
Yeah, but
all those
they're-
paintings
how old were the
come
older
from.
ones? They're 13.
13 and maybe like in their 20s or 30s. They were older. It was like an elder.
Even older than that.
Older?
So fucked.
But some of the people there that were like wise, like let's say Aristotle, he's like 80 with like a 12-year-old.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And there was no term for gay, no
80
term for
and
bisexual.
12. That's a good
No, and listen to this.
What year
relationship
was
right
this?
there.
That's a good question.
BC type
Yeah.
It
stuff.
was like 2,000 years ago.
Right.
Yeah,
it
a
was,
long
it was
time
BC.
ago.
It was BC. It was before like Christianity.
I will say
Wow.
that
They
the
finally caught on to
idea-
pedophilia and
Yeah,
like,
really,
made that a
what?
crime.
Well,
the
listen,
fuck?
listen. They would go to war with people, and what happened is whoever they were going to war against Athens or Persia, whoever it was. I don't know who it was. And they would send people to spy on the Spartans to like see what they were doing. Like, are they ready for battle? Like, where are they positioned? All this kind of stuff. And they sent the messenger or the spy or whatever, and he was looking, and they were like all just having sex with each other.
That's where the paintings come from. I'm
he
telling
was
you, they're
super
in all the
confused.
museums.
Yeah, he
all
was
these
super
orgy
confused.
paintings that are like worth millions and billions of dollars are all from that.
Yeah,
wild.
he was confused, so he went
Yeah.
back to his commander or whatever, and he's like, "Guys, I think we got it. Like, they're all just banging each other. Like, all the Spartans are just having like gay sex with each other." And the guy's like, "That means we're probably gonna die." Because they know they were doing that because they know that they're going to war and they're all probably going to die. So this is like basically like the final gangbang.
That's bizarre.
Going
The
out with the
final
final gangbang.
gangbang.
That's bizarre.
Going out like champs.
Yeah.
I do have to say one thing. When you started talking about Dominatrix, you looked at me and said, "You know about this."
Well, we can
and then
save
you
that-
didn't continue anything.
We can
so
save
I don't
that.
want people thinking I'm some kind of like.
We can save that for another episode. I have a
Why
bunch
would mom
more.
know about it?
Why wouldn't you?
Oh.
It's the story.
Yeah, we'll save
It's
that.
such a
It's not
story
really.
that.
Whatever.
Well,
What do you mean, whatever? That's a great story.
It's an ongoing lifetime story.
I always think about this.
It's still going.
Yeah, I always think about this. Either your life when we were younger. Yeah, your life when we were younger could legit be made into a movie.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that movie
actually
should
trying,
be made at some point.
Kennedy keeps trying to get me to write, so I'm trying to write memoirs as I remember them, and maybe one day it'll be put together in a book. I don't know.
Could be a movie, and the movie ends with us all becoming YouTubers.
Kennedy wants to
That's
play
the
in
weirdest
it.
ending. All this like
what the
tragic, and then we were famous. Everyone's like, what?
Tragedy from
What
rags
happened?
to
How
riches.
does that work?
Oh man, rags to riches. It's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we can talk about. I have a lot of things to talk about, but we can talk
Wait,
about
end
your
it.
experience in the next episode.
We've been talking for an hour.
Why you always want to end it? What do you have to do? You have to go get food or something
Because I
you
know
didn't
poor
eat again.
Corey has to watch the
You
whole
didn't eat
hour
again?
back.
And
he
I
has
have
to
to eat.
listen
My
to
bladder's
this
full.
full.
Pee.
Oh, Jesse has to pee.
I do too, dude.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Dude.
Dude.
Okay, dude.
Okay, dude.
Fist bump.
Bye,
Fist
bye,
bump.
dude. See you, dude.
Quadruple fist bump.
I should have done it with this hand, with my fuck ring.
Come on.
Here.
Sorry.